Okay, I'm teaching here 3 main courses until now with my experience in ADU. MTH, which is algebra course, pre-calculus, which is MTT 101, and the calculus course, which is 102. And now on summer, I have math for business, which is MTP, I think, 101. The main ideas that we are dealing with them are pre-calculus and calculus with the algebra basics. I'm using, in all of them, I'm using my math lab. How and I'm using it, in general, I'm using it as a practice tool in class, and I use it as assessment tool for the homeworks and for the quizzes and for case studies now in the course of math and business. And also I have Math for Life also. It is a course I use the tool effectively to connect the concepts with the real life applications to assess the students, to assess their understanding in class or as an assessment in class or outside the classroom. This is my sample experience on this. I think it is a tool which is linked direct with the book, which is the Pearson book. You can see that we can assess the understanding of the students by outcome, yani by the objective. I can create a quiz or an activity in classroom. Direct after the objective, I can see if the student, they are suffering on the outcome or the understanding, and we can go on. So I can evaluate the understanding of the objectives one by one, not for the whole lesson. It will show me the points of weakness of the students, or if the students are strong on this objective, so we can move on to another issue or another objective. Also, it I think as also an assessment at home, it helped me a lot to build an assessment for different levels of students. Sometimes if I have any special students that they need more practices, I can create for them, or I can create the homework specially for these students, and they can, and I can build their understanding. The assessment can be built up. We can go through the building the concepts of the students from the main ideas until we reach to link it with the real life applications. And the tool also is giving the grades direct, and it is linked with the Blackboard. So I can see the grades. I don't need to grade all these homeworks. It saves my time also. I can see a good result, so I'm not losing my time in checking the grades. Also, the assessment is good. I think in my classroom, it helps me to make the student, the learning student-centered. And when I'll give the student the assessments or for their understanding as an activity in class, they go by themselves to do the exercise. I show the main concept as an example on the screen using the PowerPoint, which is from the book. Then I give them the assessments. I didn't give them a lot of help, but I show them on the book that they have an example and they can go through the example and know what is their mistakes and continue. I will help them, but they need to build their understanding. If I'm using the tool, it saves my time. It helped me to go through the idea with different students. You can see where are the points that each student is weak on. And they can see the example. A lot of them, they solve their own problems alone by following the example, and they can see. But the problems that I feel sometimes there is a lot of details when the book is solving and showing examples. And that's it. I don't feel that I have a lot of problems with the tool. The tool really is very good. And you can see that it is not just one level. We have different levels from level 1 until level 10. And the wonderful idea is by objective, you can see what is going on. I don't feel that there is any bad or things that I suffer with. No, until now, I don't feel. Let's go I'll talk about specific courses for Math Live. It is a very basic course, which is going through operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, which is very easy, and the students can play with the calculator to get their results. To upgrade the level of the course, I use the tool to link the operations with real life applications. يعني the book showing different examples for they need to add but as a real life application how and which operation I'll use. The question is يعني I link it with my curriculum. My curriculum is talking about the operations, but the book is showing or the tool is showing how to know that I need to use the specific operation by linking it with a real situation. This is how can I use this tool, or how this is my experience with the tool in a specific course, which is Math for, I think Math for Life, yes, MTG. And with this tool, you can see that the students are suffering because they need to think it is not just an addition and you need to do the addition direct. Sometimes we have more than one operation. They need to decide if which 2 out of 4 I need to use. And they need to build their understanding, not just do an operation and that's it. This is for Math for Life. I think on summer now I have another course which is Math for Business, and also it is a very basic course. But I can use the tool as a case study. I use the case studies on the book also to measure the understanding of students after we've done all the assessments, all the يعني understanding in class with different examples, with different tools. I can use the book again as a case study. The students, they can do it. We are giving them credits, yes, and I use it as to assess the students. For part of this grade, 20 marks as a homework as a grade on most courses. And I think all the courses, I think 20% of the marks of the total grade is a grade of a homework, which is using the tool. And I think with Math for Business also now we have 30 marks as a case study, each one of them out of 15. So we have both case studies out of 15, for the total is 30. So 30 for case studies on Math for Business, and 20 marks as a homework in all courses, the MTH 101, 102, Math for Business, and Math for Life. I use usually on the first session, I show the syllabus for the student. I show the different tools of the assessments. I open the book and I show them how can they go through the tool and how can they use it. If they need to go back to an example of a book, if they need to show an example, if they can use the study plan to go through the issues before I'll do them in class with grade. Yani, sometimes I use it as a challenge in class questions. I create let's say an assessment. I call it a challenge question. I choose specific questions and they will challenge themselves. I don't give them any answers. I let them go through the examples, and you can see you can see how effectively the class. Usually, the math classes, you can see that the students are bored when you spend the 1 hour and a half just showing examples and solving. Then give them at the end, yalla, let's go, and they'll take the attendance. Now you can see that I'm using the time effectively, and you can see you can see the answers, you can see the communication with the students. خلاص, they know that this is the rule. From the beginning, I show that how to use the tool. If they are suffering with the tool, how to solve all the problems. If you need more practices, what can you do? If you need to see your marks, where can you log in? From the beginning, I save my time and their time by showing all the details. In the classes, if they have some issues, I can go back with a specific student to help him. This will show that the student didn't do his role. If you, from the beginning, you are using the tool and you're solving your homeworks, you will have issues and you solve it from the beginning. If at the end of the course you are come to me, wallah, and I didn't have the mark, I'll see and he will see that you didn't do your role. By doing this, I feel that the students, they feel from the beginning that we are responsible about our learning, our marks. And when it is as a practice, I give them the attempts. I give them around 10 attempts they can try. But when I move it to homework, which is graded, I limit the attempts to 3. They know that when we are practicing, we have a lot of attempts and we can go back and we can try. But when it is something graded as a study plan or homework, we don't have these options. I feel that the students felt the importance of the tool and they can use it effectively. This is the main point, saving time and saving effort, because You can see also, again, not just saving time and effort. You can save your time and effort, and you have an effective tool with it is showing all the object, you know, how to measure the objective one by one, how long it will take for me to search for questions. And we have, and you can see that there is different questions on the same level. And on the same assessment, I can create different questions for different students. This is something also, it is not easy for the instructor to build an assessment with differentiability. It is very easy now, within 10 minutes, less than 5 minutes, you can create different assessments for different types of students. If I feel that it is not just saving time and effort, also you have an effective tool to measure the understanding of the students, and the grades are there with just one button. Well, it is linked with Blackboard also. You can link the grades and you can see them direct. You don't need to cut and paste from Pearson to Blackboard. It is direct there on Blackboard. I think viewing the example for the student is very nice. It will show them that they are following the correct step or no. It is not giving them the final answer. The book is asking about the final answer, but when they go to the example, it will show them step by step. Sometimes I feel the steps are with a lot of details. That's the feature that I love it. And showing step by step what do you need to do is a good way of moving the experience of learning from a teacher-centered to student-centered. You know, the students that they don't love math, and you give them a tool that they can see you doing the issue and they can practice and they can see their mistakes. I think this tool helped the weak students to build their understanding and to practice with different examples for the same ideas. I can see the effect of this, especially on the weak students. And you can see the differences in between the assessments as practices with the assessment that we do them as homework, let's say. With practices, I can see the grades are not so high, but after a lot of attempts, you can see the impact of practicing on their final grade of the home, which is the assessment tool that I use it at the end. And also on their exams, I can see, when I've done an exam, at the end, you can see that the grades are good because the students, they are practicing as a practice in classroom. They are using the tool then as a homework. Then at the end, I'm doing the exam on a paper-based exam. You can see that the grades are good. Each course, they should take double the lectures on one day. And instead of 1 hour and 45 minutes, they need to take double, which is around 4 hours. But to spend the 4 hours lecturing for the students, wow, it would be wow. What I'm doing now, I'm showing the concept section by section. Let's say I have a chapter of 3 sections. I'll start with a section. I'll show the concepts. Then I'm moving the experience to them. I give them the practice to work. They are working there. I encourage them to work in pairs, but you can see that they love to work by themselves. They are not going for a pair. They are engaged by themselves with the tool, and if you need help from me or from the colleague, go to them, but I can see that they're working. They need to finish the work, and they need to understand that I can see that they really, I have a good experience with the student. It is my first time to give math for business for the students, and I feel that the students, they are really engaged and they are really enjoying, not just engaged, they are enjoying that they got the answers and they know from where they can get the answers and they can solve their problems alone. It's not the issue of the instructor to help me, yalla, go here and you will get there. They can see from where, they know from where, and I'll get the information to solve my questions. I don't feel that they are going to get the answers from any other math tool online because they know it is a practice at the beginning, and we need to understand, because at the end, all these tools, you don't have them and you need to rewrite your answer on a paper. So you need to understand and you need to know. So you have now the opportunity to understand and to use the tool and to correct your mistakes. You have the help from the tool and you have the help from the instructor. So you feel that they need the benefits because at the end they know that there is an assessment. They need their understanding. They don't need a tool. So they are using the tool on the time of the tool. But I can see the benefits on the paper. I can see their engagement. because they are seeing the effect on their papers, on their grades at the end. I think they need to go through the tool by themselves as an instructor. Check the book, check how can you create the assessment, check how can you link the grades from Pearson to Blackboard. View the example and try to write the answer before you will do anything, I think. And also, on the first session with the students, introduce the tool carefully, because you will save your time and the student time if they know all the details about the tool. You will not suffer all over the course. But if you didn't show it to them, you will get a lot of problems and a lot of headaches, and the students will suffer and you will suffer with that. But if you make everything clear from the beginning, خلاص, you will solve all the issues. You will have small issues at the end. And also, I think you can do a meeting with any instructor use the tool before and learn from his experience. Kaman, this is something it will save your time, and it will help you to avoid a lot of problems, because each person, he has his own experience. But when we listen to each other, we can learn from others as we learn from the site. That's it from my side.